So when was the last time that you rationalized your social anxiety? And by this, I mean taking a moment to actually just stop and think about the fact that it is perfectly normal and acceptable to have social anxiety, whether because maybe you've had some bad experiences in the past and you have absolutely no idea how that future is going to go if you start going out and cold approaching again, or perhaps maybe you're someone who's been in isolation a lot and you just haven't really got any experience at all. And again, you have no idea how that future could look. So one of the things that I try and encourage a lot of my clients is to adopt a very stoic mentality when it comes to approaching. And I think the more that you can kind of rationalize all of your problems and question them, one, the more relaxed you will be with that, but also the more that you can let go of the things that are just certainly not worth worrying about will also make a difference as well. So I think it's just really important for every guy then to just take a breather and accept where they currently are and what's in their control and what's out of their control. And I'll kind of give you an example of this right now. So let's just say I've just seen a beautiful woman walk past me and I now feel really, really nervous, and I haven't done any other approaching during the day. This is like me walking out of the house. I'm not warmed up or anything, and I've seen someone and I'm really, really nervous. I've got to first of all accept that I've not warmed up yet. So my brain's going to be a bit sticky and maybe I might not make the best first impression. I do have control over how I breathe, how relaxed I can be, and certainly how I can have a smile on my face and hold eye contact with her to at least walk away giving her a compliment, which hopefully she will love. And if she doesn't love me giving her the compliment, then there's not really much that I can do. I tried my very best, and I can accept that, you know what, there will be other people that I speak to during the day who will be open to taking a compliment from me, or who will be open to having a conversation. Because ultimately, and this is me now kind of stepping out of this, this example, but ultimately you just have no idea what is going on in people's lives for you to start guessing, are they going to talk to me? Like maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're worrying about their rent. Maybe they're in a relationship and it's going wrong. Maybe they've got a load of jobs that they need to do during that day. Maybe they're thinking about work and stuff. You've got to also rationalize that people have got lives going on, that you stopping them is not going to be this scenario of you waving a magic wand and hey presto, because you've just taken action. They're going to just be open to chatting to you and things are going to go incredibly well. And that's something else that guys don't tend to rationalize the future. They are stressing so much about something that hasn't even happened yet. You have no idea on which direction it's going to go, whether it goes well, whether it doesn't. Maybe she rejects you. And even then, I think rejection is a very, very strong word. By not rationalizing that you have no idea, again, what is going on in her life, that you just don't know how it's going to go. So what I want you to do, if you haven't done it already, is I want you to question your beliefs. I want you to question the fears or phobias that maybe you have, and in particularly for this example, your social anxiety. When you leave the house to go and practice cold approaching, whether it's at the start of the day, in the middle, towards the end even, whenever it is, I want you to just question that belief that you have that maybe crops up that's giving you that social anxiety. What particularly is stressing you out in that moment in time? What is going through your head that's saying to you, oh, I can't do this, or like, oh, this isn't going to go well, or whatever? And then I want you to challenge that thought. I'm not going to say belief here. I'm going to say that thought. And I want you to give yourself different solutions, making sense of that moment, and think about it in a way which might be a bit more NLP related. But I want you to imagine that then this is a friend of yours that is saying to you these problems that they are struggling with or that you're struggling with? And what would you, as a response, give them to tell them, stop worrying about it? What are you worrying about? It's normal. It's okay to be stressed about this. You don't know what's going to happen here, or this is totally out of your control. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that when you do that, a lot of that stress will kind of dissipate. And again, I really, really like giving clients this kind of way of thinking, because when you do it, you'll find that you'll just be letting go of a lot of the problems that you're stressing over and realize, what's the point in stressing about it? What is the point in worrying about it? Just worry about the things that you have control over. And certainly when you adopt that kind of stoic way of thinking, I really do think it makes all the difference. But most importantly, when you rationalize your social anxiety and accept that maybe you don't have much experience, and that is absolutely okay. But I know that if I want to get that experience, I need to be putting myself out there. I need to be speaking to more people. And then when I get good reference experience to go on, and even experiences that haven't gone well, I can understand what all of the reactions are that I particularly are going to get. But most importantly, when you're making a really good first impression with someone, especially if you're dressing well and you're going over and being really respectful, as well as even being authentic and relaxed, you'll also be surprised at how open people are to, at the very least, just hearing what you've got to say rather than ignoring you or whatever. But taking responsibility is also very, very important here. And in fact, I find, and I have mentioned this in other videos, but it can be very liberating if you can just take responsibility for everything, even taking responsibility for things that maybe perhaps wasn't your fault and actually maybe was someone else's decision. I think it's just a really good way to just help you to process, like, okay, well, I could have done this differently or that. Such as maybe, for example, if you've seen someone, you've approached them, but you didn't quite stop them in a way that they didn't quite hear you and they carried on walking on. Now, on one hand, that person maybe did acknowledge you and just ignored you. Or perhaps you could go, you know what, I could have stopped her better. I could have done this or that better. I could have spoken a bit louder and then she would have heard me. And you'll find that your body just kind of auto corrects with that. And again, this kind of rationalization will ultimately help you with just how you interact with people, because you'll always be auto correcting. You'll be just constantly making sense of the problem, and you'll be very realistic over everything that's happening. And you'll find that you'll also get your results faster and you'll develop a lot quicker as well. If you're not someone who's been rationalizing their problems or their social anxiety, maybe even you are just starting your cold approach journey and you're going out and you do have a lot of social anxiety that's coming up, you're really, really just struggling to, maybe get that ball rolling, then I want you to rationalize and question all of these beliefs, these thoughts that are coming up. So at least then you can make sense of the situation, and you'll also find that you'll talk your way into a solution and being okay with everything that you're doing or where you're at. And the more okay you are with your social anxiety and acknowledge how you can overcome it, you'll find it will give you a bit more of a motivation to go and speak to people, because you will be more of like a scientist trying to overcome and figure out what's the best way to solve your social anxiety, rather than potentially just trying to avoid it and then having this self-fulfilling prophecy of like, well, I don't want to approach because I'm going to get social anxiety, and then you're getting social anxiety because you're not approaching. So I hope this video makes sense to you. I'd really love actually to hear your thoughts on this as well. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. I've noticed that a lot of my viewers tend to be new subscribers come in, so absolutely welcome. And if you really like the idea of learning how to overcome your social anxiety, and maybe you're open to the idea of cold approaching, which I genuinely believe should be a rite of passage. I think everyone should do it, and certainly in a very controlled way with a coach, because it just accelerates your confidence and helps you to reach this level of self-actualization so much faster than anything else I think that's out there, and allows you then to meet people, whether it be for friendships, relationships, and so on, in a way where you can genuinely be yourself and you can be authentic and congruent with who you are as a person. I mean, if all of that does sound good, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, then of course, like it. But I've got plenty of content like this that will help you with your social anxiety journey. And if you do need coaching as well, by all means, check out my website where I take people out and help them with this area of their life and get them to become more confident much quicker than on their own. So thank you very much for watching. And of course, look forward to more videos from me in the future.